Welcome, seekers, lightworkers, starseeds, warriors of light. So you are here to see if you're the chosen one or a chosen one, because it's not the chosen one, it's chosen ones. Okay, and see the simple fact that you've clicked on this video. It makes me believe that you are. Okay, but by the end of this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to know for sure if you don't already know. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what a chosen one is. Okay, then I'm going to help you understand, how they awaken to their power. That's through a spiritual experience. And then I'm going to give you 22 signs of a chosen one. Now, there's more than 22 signs. Okay, I don't know how many exactly, but I'm going to give you 22 that I resonate with. Okay, because I found this cool article on mastic.com on my quest and thirst for knowledge, and it gave me 50 signs. Okay, now out of the 50 signs, I ticked about 38 myself. But 38 was too many to discuss, and some of them kind of overlapped each other. So I wanted to pick a nice round number, and I love 22. My birthday is December 22nd, and also the day I'm recording this is February 2nd, so that's 2 2. So I thought 22. And it's the ones that I can speak about through experience because I've lived it, I'm living it. Okay, so what is a chosen one? Because everybody in their pet hamster is claiming to be a chosen one these days. Okay, so let's understand what it is, right? A chosen one, isn't just someone who casually thinks that they're a big deal. Okay, because that would just be the ego. No, a chosen one is like a superhero of the cosmic realm. They're an MVP who signed up for a very specific mission. Now, these souls volunteered, they handpicked themselves for a purpose, and it's not your run of the mill, kind of deal here. Okay. Now, what sets them apart is they normally take very difficult paths. Okay. So if you're looking at your life and if you've had a difficult life like I have, okay, that's just already a sign there. Okay. Well, they're like the A team of souls here. Highly advanced. They're not your kind of cosmic average wanderer. No, most of them have volunteered and they'd already, aced the ascension game and decided, you know what? Let's go back and help humanity. Let's give humanity a helping hand. Okay, because it's not about personal glory, right? The chosen ones take on the task of healing their entire ancestral lineage. Okay, cleaning up family drama generations back. Okay, it's like they're the ultimate family therapist. Okay, and why do they do that? Okay, it's because they're not just in it for themselves. They're crafting this new 5D DNA template for everyone. Okay, the whole family line. Okay, and they chose themselves to be what I would say a hero, right? Because they are. Okay, but not just that, their lineage chose them. Okay, so no matter how dysfunctional Uncle Bob and Auntie Sue and cousin Jimmy might seem on the surface, deep down they're also the cheerleaders for the chosen one. Okay, they're the hero. That the ancestors picked, handpicked for the role. No matter how crazy that sounds, because believe you me, it took a lot for me to get my head around this. Okay, so see the next time somebody claims to be a chosen one, ask them, are they on a mission to heal the family drama and create a new 5D template for their ancestors and their lineage? If not, then, they're just maybe a sidekick on this cosmic saga. Okay, so, let's talk about the awakening. Okay, because see, chosen ones, right? They are born awake. Okay, but life, has tossed chaos on them. Okay, life has chose to drive them into a low frequency emotions. Now, the chosen ones have picked this. Okay, they knew this was happening before they came here, and that's why they're so brave. Okay, so they get drove into this low frequency emotion, and in my case, it was chaos. Wherever I went, I was, like a tornado. There was nothing angelic about me in my life. I was a loose cannon with multiple addictions and mental health issues beyond extreme. Okay? Eventually, though, something will happen to them and it'll wake them up out their unconscious nap. And in my case, I was in a 40-year nap. Okay? And it'll cause them to feel like they're going crazy. Because when I first had my awakening, I honestly did feel crazy. Okay, and also I was too scared to tell anyone because I thought they might think I was crazy. And when I did tell people, they did think I was crazy. People who were close to me, who I thought I could trust, thought I was crazy. Okay, now when they have their awakening, what it does is it brings them out of a lower vibrational state and elevates them into a higher vibrational state. And that was certainly the case for me. I was still trapped in the world of addiction and sabotage and fear and self doubt and, all the kind of negativity. And after that happened to me, I was projected onto cloud nine. Okay. And what it is, it's a massive frequency shift. Okay. With this positive shift, their perceptions change. They might suddenly feel like the urge to quit bad habits. Like for me, I quit drugs, I quit alcohol, I quit lots of different things. Okay, but they also might, reconnect with people that they had, or they might want to call to someone they haven't spoken in a while, or they might start, a spiritual journey, which was, for me, if you watch my last video, I didn't believe in any of the spiritual stuff at all. I was against it. Okay, but after I had my awakening, I was, I felt pulled to go down this spiritual route, and I started several spiritual practices. I became an energy healer. I've done lots of different things, a coach, all these different things. Okay, and I spoke about it in my first video. So if you want to watch the first video, I'll stick it in the link because I don't want to repeat, because we're not on here to talk about that. But yeah, I quit drugs, alcohol. I had a whole cosmic shift. I sold my business, and and I decided that I wanted to be, a warrior of light. Okay, and I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I knew that I wanted to help people, because the profound shift that I had, I wanted other people to feel that. So that was the beginning of my apprenticeship, and I'm about 5 years into that apprenticeship now, and I'm still learning, and I'm definitely not a master or a guru or anything. I'm just, riding the waves of spirituality, and I love it. So let's talk about the signs that we're talking about here, right? So let's go for number one. Okay, you feel like you don't belong in this world, right? And that was me. I didn't feel like I always felt like an outsider, and everywhere I went, I felt, you know, I don't know. I didn't feel like I fitted in. I stayed in different countries, and everywhere I went, I just always felt like I had to be the class clown to get attention, and I just didn't never ever, I never fit in anywhere. Okay, so let's go for number two. Okay, you walk a different path. Now that's definitely been my whole life. I've never wanted to conform. I've always wanted to take a different path. And that might be the same as you. If you look back at your life, maybe there's times when you were told to do this, you were told to do that, but you never done it, and you said, no, I want to do this. I want to take something, a break from the norm. Okay. Number three, right? You're a natural leader. Okay, and you can't just, follow the status quo. And again, if I look back over my life, I was a captain in my football team. People always came to me when I was in work. I was senior management. There was everything I was in. I was always a leader, and I always wanted to take the lead because I always wanted to put myself in that position. And even to this day, I still feel that way. And it doesn't scare me to be, head of a project or managing a group of guys or women or whoever. Okay, so if you're a natural born leader, then that could be you. Okay, number four, you question everything. Now, I've always been a very curious person, and I've always had to know why things are the way they are. And even now, it's even intensified now, because now I know more about the spiritual realm, about the universe, about all these things. My thirst for curiosity has just, it's intensified more and more. And I don't believe a lot of the stuff when I see it until I get proof. So I'm questioning everything. Okay. Number five, you've got this desire to remove negativity from the world, or even worse, the kind of the evil, the darkness. You want to eradicate that from the world, and that appeals to you to go on a quest to remove the toxicity, darkness, all these kind of traffickers and all these horrible people. You just want to rid the world of them. Okay, number six, feelings of loneliness. Okay, wondering why you're different and you can't connect with anyone. And that's what it was for me. I always felt like that. That's how I actually got into drugs and alcohol, because it gave me an escape to be able to fit in. because I could act, I could, I could lower my inhibitions, I could be normal, quote unquote normal, when with drugs and alcohol, and that's how I became an addict, because it was my only way I could fit in, and I could understand, or I could be part of something. Okay, number 7. Okay, your light attracts broken people. Okay, and that's when you get people who come to you and they want you to help them, or try and resolve their issues or fix them. And that's my whole life. I've been the go-to person where people will come for advice, and I can remember back even at 14 that I had friends coming to me back then. And people look for you for solutions. Okay. Number 8, life has been difficult for you, right? You have had a difficult life. Okay. And you've had challenges, you've had obstacles. And again, I look back my whole life, right up until 4 or 5 years ago. I was obstacles all the time. It was always challenging, and with addiction, mental health, jail, fights. So many catastrophic things happened in my life, and I just always wonder, why is this happening? But now I know better. Now I know it was just all preparation for what I have to do on this earth, and I explained that in my last video. Okay, so life can be more challenging. Number 9, you have this knowing that you're here for something bigger, and you've probably known it since you were a child. And I remember having this feeling, and especially when I was 20, and I'd said to my mum, I said, Mum, I think I'm here for something bigger. I think I'm here for something greater. And she said, Son, are you taking drugs again? And she didn't know, and I'm not blaming her or anything like that. She that was my rep. That was what I'd done. But yeah, I had this feeling inside, and I was too scared to follow it or speak about it, because I would have got ridiculed, because I didn't know anything about spirituality, and I thought it was religion, and I was just so close-minded to it all. So I remember having that feeling around about 20, maybe 21, and that was 20 years before I finally had an awakening. Okay, so you have that knowing that you're here for something greater. Okay. Number 10, you have a strong desire to uncover the truth about the world. And that reverts back to one that I said earlier. But you want to know what's going on, because you know that what's getting portrayed in the news is not real. That you've got your radars on, and you're saying, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. You have this curiosity to understand what is really going on. Why is this happening? Okay, you just have this, this desire to uncover the truth about the world and about, everything. Okay. Number 11, right? You're naturally a kind person, right? But you do have your faults. You struggle with, anger, frustration. And if I look back at my life, I've always been a very soft, caring individual, but I've also been a violent individual as well. I've also been angry. I've also frustration. I've lashed out, but in my heart, I know I've been kind, caring, and considerate, and that stems all the way back to I was younger. I've always loved helping people, but there's been a side to me where people didn't push my buttons because I would retaliate, and I was never, a victim. I would always make sure that I stood up for myself, but I was always kind. In my heart, I was always kind. I knew that. Okay. Number 12, you had a difficult childhood. Now, that's for most cases, and that doesn't mean that you had to be abused or anything like that. Like, for example, my father left when I was 4, I felt abandoned. Then I'd moved a country a couple of times. I uprooted. I was bullied when I was younger in school. So there was lots of trauma and lots of different things in my childhood, and it left these, wounds that I had to deal with later on in life. So you could have had a similar, or you could have had a lot worse, but you had a difficult childhood. Okay. Number 13, you feel stuck and unfulfilled in this world. And that's how I felt right up until, I had my awakening. And that's why I would always seek refuge in drugs and alcohol, because I felt like I had no purpose, or whatever was trying to come up or come out, I was trying to suppress, but I just never felt happy. And I always thought, I'll do this will make me happy, this will make me fulfilled. And nothing ever seemed to fill that gap. Okay, number 14, they find life boring until they discover their true calling. And that kind of falls into the one before, but, it's slightly different. But that's the truth. That's why I bounce from job to job to job, because, and my wife and people would say, why don't you stick around in the jobs? And I was like, because they just don't fulfill me. I just don't, it's boring. I don't like it. So I would constantly be seeking, something different. And it was because unconsciously I knew I had a purpose, but I wasn't living it, and I was desperate to find it because I knew I had a true calling. The inside I knew it, but I was actually too scared to talk about it or ask people or even say it to people in case people ridiculed me. But I knew it inside. Okay, number 15. Animal and children are drawn towards you. Okay, and this has been true. I used to babysit my young cousins. Children would always come up to me. Animals. I've never had like a dog go to bite me or attack me, or animals just come to me. And even children, like even my nephew when he was just born, he wouldn't want anyone else to watch him except for me. Okay, and people were surprised, like, why you? And I was like, I don't know. But that's been the case. Kids have always levitated towards me. I worked with kids when I moved over to America. I used to coach kids, and I worked in a school. All these things, had prepared me for now. But yeah, so children and animals are drawn towards you. Okay, number 16. For most of your life, you thought something was wrong with you, and that's what it was. I thought I was useless. I thought I was worthless. I thought it was a waste of space. I thought I would never amount to much. I thought I was broken. I thought there was something wrong with me. Why is nobody else like me? Why is it always me this is happening to? Why? I had all these questions because I thought I was inherently broken. I thought I was just never going to, I was never going to have a normal life. Okay. Number 17. You see a lot of repeating numbers or signs, and I see that even to this day. Like earlier, I seen 1222. I seen 111, and every day I'm seeing this. But even leading up to my awakening, that's when I started to recognize them. I started to see these numbers, but it wasn't just that; it was other things. Like robins would, when I was first started doing this work, a robin would come right up to the window and just sit there and kind of look at me. And robins were a big thing for me. And then also, what's that other bird called? A heron. This heron it would like it would follow me everywhere I would go. And this was at the beginning of my journey. And I remember taking a picture of this heron, and it had this energy field around it, when it was, because I didn't know what type of bird it was, but there was these signs, even starting this channel, I asked the universe, I said, please give me a sign for what I'm supposed to be doing, because I was making YouTube videos already, and this was when I was driving to my friend's house, because I used to be a barber, but I still cut his hair, and when I got to his house, his mum said, I've been watching your YouTube videos, and they're good, she says, but I don't think that's what you should be doing. I think you should be, taking people on a spiritual path, because ever since I've known you, I've felt that strong. Because she's like a tarot reader, and she does runes, and she's kind of psychic, and that's what she said. She said, "You ever since I've known you, I've had this strong feeling that you are here to guide people on the path." Okay, so the signs, numbers, synchronicities. Okay, so number 18. Okay, you've had a spiritual awakening, and if you're on this video, the likelihood is you've had. Now, it doesn't have to be something profound. Okay, it could be something, something happened to you, a near-death experience, an accident, an illness, something that shifted your way of thinking, and all of a sudden you're starting to think differently. Like the things I've been saying today. Okay, you've had a switch in perception. You've changed the way you look at life and what you believe in life. And spiritual awakenings can happen. Some can be extreme, like mine was very extreme. Some people's are even more extreme than mine, but some are a bit smaller. And I've witnessed people have spiritual experiences. And when the first time I ever seen it, I didn't know what to make of it. I thought it was BS. But now I know different, because I had a very similar one to the one that I first ever seen. So spirit is just it's like a shift in your perspective on how you see the world. Okay, number 19, you cannot work a traditional 9 to 5. Okay, I know that's true for me. Bounced around for years until I'd opened my own business, and my business was doing great. Then I had my spiritual awakening, and I had this calling to sell the business. Well, I was guided by the spirit guides to sell the business and follow this path. Now, the path has not been smooth. It's been very difficult. Okay, but I would never go back to a 9 to 5 job, because I just couldn't do it. Even when money's run out and times have been tough, I've always had this belief that, not my whole life, but since I've been on this journey, that I'm here for something greater. So I'm going to stay on this path no matter how difficult it gets. Okay, I've been tested time and time again. And there's been times I wanted to quit and go back and take the easy option, but I just knew that I was here for something greater. So I was like, no, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it. Okay, number 20, you seem to be stuck in dark situations. Now, even most recently to me, now I have had my spiritual awakening. I know all of this about the universe and, my purpose and all that, but that doesn't stop me from getting into any dark situations. I've had them over the past 4 years. I've been stuck in such dark holes where suicide hasn't entered my mind at that point. It has in the past, but it's like I just felt there was no way out. And people talk about the dark night of the soul, and I believe I've had more than 2 or 3 or 4 of them. Okay, and that it can be difficult because I've got a lot of purging to do, and I've got a lot of stuff that I had to release and let go of before I was ready for the next level. And it's like an onion, constantly peeling the onion till I get to the middle, find my way back to source, and and I have all this kind of chunky armor on me that I have to peel back. Okay, number 21. Okay, you don't want or need a lot of friends, right? And that's true for me. I have friends who I grew up with, like some of my best friends in the world I still communicate with, but I don't have a lot of friends at all right now. I speak to a couple of people, but and you know what? It's not, I don't need them. I would love to build a community of people where we're all on the same path, but it's not something that I need. Okay, and I don't, I don't desire it. I don't sit here thinking, oh, even though I've been lonely and it's difficult, it's not something that I have to have. Okay, and the last one, okay, you've had many shocking experiences in life. Okay, and that's accidents, and for me it was violent incidents, accidents, prison, rehabs, institutions, hospitals. Again, I was paralyzed. I've had so many different things on my path, but now I know that everything there was there to make me stronger. It was to test me. It was lessons that I had to learn. I had to go through this to become the version I am today, and I'm still on that journey. And I'm no finished article. I've got a long way to go, and I don't ever think there is a finish line. I think it's a continual progression of connecting with yourself, because I believe that's what spirituality is. It's about connecting with yourself and and really understanding who you are. Okay, and that's what they say, know thyself. Okay, and once you know thyself, then you can start to move forward. Okay, so that's the 22 signs. Now, if you resonate with these signs, okay, then you're most likely you are a chosen one, a starseed, a light worker, a warrior of light, whatever you call yourself. And please don't be scared to say that about yourself, because at the beginning it's important that we need this, because for me I felt lost, isolated. I didn't know where I was or who I was or what was going on. So it was, and I was so scared to speak to people about it, because I was so scared of being judged and people laughing at me and thinking me I'm crazy and this. And don't get me wrong, if someone had told my story to me 6-7 years ago, I would have thought they were crazy. So I don't hold it against people. I don't hold it against them. It's just that was my fear. I was too scared. And when I started to really, because as I said in my last video, I got driven to this place to start this YouTube channel because I knew this was my calling, but I was too scared to do it. And things kept happening. It was like it was forcing me. It was like it was narrowing my options until this was the only path that I could take. Okay, so if you do resonate with these signs, right, I'll give you a few recommendations, because this world can be a chaotic place, right? Everybody's got their hands in the cookie jar, okay? And you have to take care of numero uno, right? Yourself, okay? You have to take care of yourself first. You cannot give from an empty cup, okay? And it's like they tell you in the aeroplane, you put the mask on yourself first, right? So obviously there's things that you should be doing anyway. You should be looking after your body, making sure you're exercising, you're sweating every day, you're eating healthy food. You're taking time to chill out every day. And I'm not talking about some crazy diets, the keto, the paleo, all these diets. No, just whatever works for you, whatever your body agrees with. And I'm not talking about, heavy hitting sessions, marathons, all that. I love the gym. It's my form of therapy, if you want to call it. It's my quiet place. I love it. I love going to the gym. Okay, but get yourself, build your body up, get yourself strong, sweat, and make sure you give some time for yourself. Okay, but keep it practical. It's all about reconnecting with yourself amidst all the chaos that's going on, because we live in a world that never shuts up. Distractions are everywhere. Everywhere's dying for a piece of you. Okay, so being able to, ground yourself as a superpower and keep your frequency high, because people are going to want to bring you down. Connect with that inner guru, that inner self. Don't let anybody take advantage of your kindness. Okay, you need to stand up and step into your power. Okay, and develop your intuition. That is a superpower. That is your cosmic compass. That's why I've got the compass on the back there. And your intuition, it will help you dodge toxic people, it'll help you get out of sticky situations, and it'll give the boot to these negative thoughts. Okay, and also cut that energy cord away from people and places. Those energy vampires, they're people that are draining your vibe. Okay, because remember, your light is like this big cosmic disco ball in this sometimes dim world, but not everyone is going to be a fan of your light. Okay, dark forces might try to dim your light or your sparkle. Okay, but love yourself, forgive others, and most importantly, stay grounded. It's your shield against the daily dramas and chaos that's going on. Okay, and yes, it ain't all going to be rainbows and unicorns and all fluffy pink clouds and all that crap. No, there's going to be challenges. Okay, there's going to be stuff that you're going to have to work through. And if you're anything like me, that will force you to want to isolate. Okay, but these aren't curses. These are your golden tickets to self-discovery and feeling empowered. Okay, so lean into them. Okay, now not everyone is going to be out to get you. People are imperfect, and this journey might get a little bit bumpy, but be sensible with your projections and guard your energy. Okay, this journey isn't a burden, it's a gift. Okay, it's your backstage pass to greatness. Okay, recognize the signs, embrace them, let them guide you to your calling. Really do. Okay, and if you enjoyed this video and it resonates with you, please give it a like or share it so others like you and me can awaken to their true potential and their calling. Okay, because right now we are in a time of change and it is a spiritual revolution. And I would just want to be able to touch and connect and, open the gates for as many light workers, starseeds, warriors of light as possible to step into their true power, their true nature and purpose. Okay? Listen, thanks for watching. Massive love to you all. Take care. Ciao.